This is Brendan Weinstein, a 27-year-old wingsuit pilot. I came across Brendan's video of him flying down a snowy mountain that quickly turned into lots of sharp, pointy rocks. And I thought to myself, if he crashes, those rocks will grind him into mincemeat. Now usually in wingsuit videos, they show flying over low terrain and then quickly throw out their parachute and land, but to my amazement he kept going. The rocky terrain then started giving way to grassy terrain, then a stream following down the mountain, and then a forest, and to my amazement he kept on flying. I was truly captivated by this video, and I've never seen a wingsuit pilot fly so low to the ground for so long before. Every time I thought he would open his parachute, he just kept on going. So I got in contact with Brendan and interviewed him about this video, and asked him all about this flight. The main question I was dying to ask was, how did you know you could do this particular flight without hitting anything? Is this a well-known route for wingsuit flyers? Brendan replied, this is the first time this path has ever been flown before. This was the penultimate flight of a 2-week project that we did in Zermatt, Switzerland. Before doing any flights, we spent quite a lot of time drawing paths on Google Earth to come up with the average required glide for each 100-foot segment of line. We also looked at aviation maps of where things like power lines and cable cars run through the mountains to ensure there were no obstructions in our flight path. During the flight, we pretty much always fly at least 100 feet above the ground, and we wear GPS devices so we can check for certain how accurate a topographic map of the area is. One of the questions I asked, which I have always been curious about with wingsuits was, do you have any control at all to fly up, or gain lift if you are getting too low, or are you constantly flying down at an angle no matter what? Brendan replied, yes, we do have the ability to fly up 200 to 300 feet when we are flying at our top speed of 160 miles per hour. Now in one of Brendan's videos, he was flying upside down just feet away from another flyer. I asked him, what was that flight about and how did you do it? Brendan replied, upside down terrain formation flying is a new thing, which was pretty high focus. The guy on his back is me, and I'm primarily just mirroring my friend's body movements to navigate. You can see me sticking my head up every now and then. That's to use my head as a brake to slow my airspeed down so I don't get too far ahead of him. We had two-way helmet communication gear, but those only served as a backup to body mirroring and pre-planned hand symbols. Matching body movements actually works quite well for everything. We had hand symbols for abort, but we wanted the voice comms as a backup in case of bad sun glare. I ended the interview asking one question just out of curiosity. Why do this particular flight over this terrain, which looks so low and dangerous? Is it like climbing Mount Everest? Once you've done all other mountains, there is only one left to do, the big one? As this flight seems high on the danger level to me. Brendan replied, I wouldn't view this flight as risky, it's actually kind of funny, because we did 2 jumps on the last day that was supposed to be for fun. Let our hair down sort of jumps, and this was one of them. Now for all those thinking about buying a wingsuit and jumping off a mountain, keep this in mind. Brendan runs the company BaseBeta, which is dedicated to serving base jumpers, and has done roughly 1,200 wingsuit flights, 700 base jumps and 800 skydives, and spent weeks planning this flight with fellow jumpers. So please, don't try this. Well, I was going to say at home, but unless your home is at the top of a mountain, I guess I don't have to say it. Just remember this, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.